Hey guys, it's KOKOStern and it's time for an afterthought about Path of Exile. I've been playing this for a long time now, and it's a ton of fun. It really is a ton of fun to play. I'm not bored at all, and I wanted to get to super late game, but that's gonna take a really long time, and I already have my thoughts about this game in a pretty strong way, so I thought might as well just do an afterthought. So what is this game about? We've talked about in the Bice beginnings about the systems and everything, and there's a long way to go. There really is a long way to go with the game. The major changes that have happened since we've talked last, is that races have been implemented. So now there are a ton of races happening all the time: a 1 hour race, 3 hour race, week-long race, which is just a fresh economy. And you can basically try and get the highest level in the allotted time. And the winners, the top scorers for each class and overall, will get specific points. These points can be redeemed at the end of the season, and also along the season if you get to a certain amount of points, to get all kinds of rewards and unique items, which is pretty cool. And it gives a lot of replayability other than just leveling your character in default league or maybe playing hardcore. In that case, it's lovely. It's wonderful. It adds so much more to the game, and you can really play this for a really long time. Now, this game isn't easy at all. And one of the problems that I've really had is that progressing after a certain point is not easy. Now, I'm actually totally going to die here, but I'm going to try my best. I'm at the docks, which is usually an area that you farm up at this difficulty level. I'm actually at the second difficulty level here, which is cruel. And I'm going to try and get to... I'm just going to level up and eventually get to merciless. So, whoa, there's a yellow one. Okay, we're going to ignore that so I can talk and don't have to focus on the actual screen. So, in order to do well in merciless and in the ending of cruel, and merciless is the third difficulty level and it becomes really difficult at that point, you need two things. The first thing is the proper build. Now, we've talked about this giant thing, this passive tree, and the problem is that you can't do whatever you want. In most cases, you need to do mostly defenses with the tree and count on damage coming in from proper skill usage. The tree, in most cases, what you want to have in the tree is that in again, most cases you want to do 50% offense and 50% defense, because if you take all the elements of the game, you have defense and offense. That's the general thing. You protect yourself. I don't want to die. I want to kill stuff. And what you now normally need to do with the tree is go 80% defense in order to succeed in the higher difficulty levels. 80% defense and just a little bit of offense. And that shouldn't be how the tree works. And so you need just to get a ton of life, a ton of life, a ton of life. And a common jape, if you will, is to say, hey, is my build good enough? Someone asks that, a noob or something like that, and people don't look at the build. They just say, no, you need more life. And sadly, it's kind of true right now. To succeed in Merciless, you need the correct build. And only a couple of them, the sort of cookie cutter, we hate cookie cutter, we don't want to have cookie cutter, but a couple of the cookie cutter builds are what you'd expect. Obviously, there's tons of room for variation and personal changes, because each player plays differently, and it makes sense to change, but the basic is get a ton of HP and get a ton of resistances. And you just have to do this, and it takes away from the game. With that said, you also need the correct items, and right now my character actually has a pretty good build that I obviously found online, but my items are crap, and currency items are not cheap, and it's not easy to get them. I've actually managed to get a couple of uniques, which is lovely, but I don't have a lot of specific currency items, and I really need more and more in order to make proper items, and it's really not easy to get them. So there's a lot to do here. And as long as you play this game in short bursts, I guess it's a lot of fun. I'm not bored at all yet. I still play a little bit here and there. A good thing to play this game is if you if you do something that's a bit careful and you can just kind of do it casually and play a little bit by yourself, do XP runs and things like that, you could be listening to a podcast or listening to a lecture or seeing a YouTube video while you're playing, which is something I do often. Really great and a lot of fun. It just works with this game. Other than that, obviously, playing with friends is great. The races, which fresh economy, doing that with friends is lovely. The rewards that you might actually get. And overall, I'm excited to see what happens in the future for this game, how it develops, what they're gonna do with this giant tree, how they're gonna balance the duelist, which I still have a really high-level duelist that's basically crap at this point. And it's a good game. You should definitely play it. You should give it a try. It's free to play, so why not? If you like action RTS games, this is the thing for you. It costs nothing, and it's really great. And this is Path of Exile. I've been KOKOStern. This is an afterthought after spending a considerable amount of time with this game. And go play it. Seriously, what are you doing listening to my videos? See you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.